Here we are back at 7:05, 5 minutes, well, 7 minutes late. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. January 18th, that first sip of coffee. Oh, so delicious. Jenny, what's up? Big shipping day. I hope it is for you. It is for me again. I think, so when I ended the stream yesterday, I was at 253 items to ship. And then I sold more. I shipped all freaking day. I finally just stopped. I think I got down to like 98 items to ship last night because I kept selling more, through the day. I'm back. I actually didn't have too many overnight sales, so I think I'm only at like 112 or 114, which is now I find that manageable as long as I don't have a plan to do a file exchange day, etc., which I'm kind of just leaving this week to hammer out shipments, getting those packages out, and then doing some of the Bowman draft listings just from the couch on my phone. So I posted my numbers after I shipped out like 100 items. I posted, I think, 166 in that image items to be shipped, and that was after almost a full day of shipping. I had a few questions come up, and I thought, hey, what a perfect time to kind of go over my eBay strategy and how, I have somebody replied to a tweet last night, and I tweet this out often on eBay. Everything sells on eBay, and Edgar EG9413 says he quotes everything sells on eBay 1 million Cubs. I had to quote that because this week I sold some WWE Heritage cards as well as a Cubs ticket stub from 2019. And so everything sells on eBay. It's quite amazing. Now, that doesn't mean you can go find a Cubs ticket stub from 2019, list it right now, and sell it this afternoon. Sometimes it takes some time. Sometimes it might take a year. Not everything sells. I should put an asterisk. Not everything is going to sell. If you listen to me and take my tips and put them to use, I'm not guaranteeing that you're going to sell everything in your closet. What's up, Zach? Zach is in the house. So everything sells on eBay. And I just kind of want to share some of my tips. And I know Jenny is doing awesome on eBay sales, and she's in the chat if she wants to share some of her tips in the chat as well. And I know Dan DR might watch this later. He's having a lot of success. He tweets a lot of stuff of what he sells, and I don't want to mess up his Twitter handle, but I'm gonna find US Sports Cards 1 is his Twitter handle. It will sell. You just have to have patience. Yeah, and you have to price it right too. I think that's a common misconception is you see a lot of these sales and it's like, a 1990 Donruss, Ken Griffey Jr. That's probably a poor example because I don't know the exact market. It might sell for $5, but a 1991 score, Ken Griffey Jr. isn't going to move on eBay for $5. Maybe at some point down the road it might, but it probably won't. But if you list it at $1.50 free shipping, it probably will. And I'm going to go into that here. Herman's with us. What's up, Herman? Good morning to Herman, and good evening to Dan. So a lot of people, I think, what's up, Ed? Good morning. I think one of the most common questions I receive, especially when it comes to $1.50 cards, and I'm going to preface this before I go into it. My website domain, I should probably $50cards.com or $50cards.com because that's my new base. It was 99-cent cards. 99centcards.com. That'll get you to my eBay store. So people say, is it worth it? So before I get into is it worth it, my initial base price was 99 cents free shipping, and I was moving a lot. Now, I wasn't banking on single 99-cent card sales. I was offering volume discounts. At the time, it was buy 3 or more, get 10% off automatic at checkout. I boosted that. It's now 15% when you buy 3 or more from my eBay store. I've also raised the price to $1.50 for a couple of reasons. So, A number one, my stamp guy is out of stamps. So I was buying in bulk. I was buying like 700 at a time every couple weeks. And my cost was 38 cents per stamped envelope. And I don't have any left. I'm all out. But they were just old, unused stamps. He was buying at estate sales. He's a stamp collector. And he would apply the 60 cents in postage onto, Costco envelopes. So my cost was 38 cents per envelope. Now, if you use standard envelope shipping, you're paying 53 cents for postage plus anywhere from 2 to 5 cents on a regular envelope. I get them for 2.5 cents per envelope buying them at Costco in store. Now online, I noticed, and I think we talked about this in a previous episode, if you buy them online, they're a lot more. They're like 4 cents per envelope if you buy from Costco online, but in store 2.5 cents per envelope. So my cost is 62.5 cents per envelope now using standard envelope. So that really eats into my overhead costs when it comes to my margins. So my margins aren't the same selling a 99-cent card where before it was 38 cents. Now it's 63 cents for a stamped envelope. So that basically ate away all profits. And I still do have 99-cent cards with free shipping in my eBay store. Fortunately, a lot already sold. Some people package them up and get the discount, so I'm actually making some profit on them. But it's basically a loss leader. So right now I'm taking a loss on any single 99-cent sale with free shipping. It's about a 5 or 10 cent loss. But before, when I was paying just the 38 cents per stamped envelope, it was about a 10-cent profit. And people say, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Now, that's a question that each individual seller has to answer. Now, when you're asking me, is it worth it? Well, of course it is. I find myself a fairly smart person. If it wasn't worth it, I wouldn't do it. So to me, absolutely, yes, it is worth it. Twitter doesn't have enough characters for me to really explain why. It's a loss leader. I'll go back to that and explain if you're unaware of what a loss leader is. So I use Costco envelopes, and so I'll use Costco as an example. A loss leader for Costco is their rotisserie chicken, which, by the way, is freaking amazing. People wait in line. I'll never forget. I went, like, the one time I wanted a rotisserie chicken, and I love chicken, but for some reason I had like an urge. I think my wife was out of town. I wanted a rotisserie chicken from Costco. I went in, and it was dinner time. They'd already sold out, and people were waiting. I bet there were 12 to 15 people standing around the meat counter waiting for them to bring out the rotisserie chicken. And then it was just like hungry dogs attacking the meat counter once they started putting these rotisserie chickens out. Now, Costco sells them for like $4 or $5 for an entire rotisserie chicken, for a whole chicken. They're taking a loss on that, but it brings people in the store. If you're a member of Costco or even Sam's Club, how often have you gone into Costco or Sam's Club? Say you're going in for a rotisserie chicken. Do you leave with only a rotisserie chicken? I am shocked. Sometimes I go into Costco and I'll see somebody just carrying out like a box of envelopes or something, just one item. I've never gotten out of Costco spending under $100. It's just, so it's a loss leader for Costco because, maybe one person comes in for a Costco rotisserie chicken and leaves spending $5, but 14 out of 15 of those people are going to go shop around and they're going to grab stuff. And also, I'm very impulsive when it comes to Costco. Costco to me is like my diet on a vacation. And I have a crappy diet at home anyway, so that's a poor example. But for people that kind of adhere to diets, when you go on vacation, it's like, hey, I'm on vacation. Calories don't count. I think that's a saying. Calories don't count on vacation. And money doesn't count at Costco. Like, you just walk around. It's like, oh, hey, I'm going to look at the books. I'm going to drop $20 on this new John Grisham novel. So it's kind of one of those things. So it's a loss leader. That's where I consider my 99-cent cards, my $1.50 cards. The hope is to draw people in as a loss leader. Hey, I want this 99-cent card, but oh wow, he's got 10,000 cards in his eBay store. He's got bulk discounts. I can buy 10 cards. He's got free shipping. I can buy 10, 20 cards, and I save 15% right off the bat. So that's why it's worth it to me. Now, if I sold a bunch, and in another reason I raised my price to $1.50 was I started to see a trend where people were only buying one card out of my eBay store. And so the more that added up, it's like, okay, I'm not doing this for 10-cent profit if that's all people are going to buy and they're not going to take advantage of these bulk discounts. So that's why I kind of, and I dangled the carrot and I started offering best offer. $1.50 was my base price. But hey, if somebody wants to offer in before, when I was still making a profit on 99 cents, if somebody offered $1, I'd usually take it. But now those margins aren't there. So I usually counter it typically at $1.30. And this is a whole nother show that I want to talk about is offers, because I have a very like intricate accepting, declining, and counter offering on eBay. So that's my loss leader. Is it worth it to me? Yes. If it wasn't worth it to me, I wouldn't do it. So that's my answer. And is it worth it to you? I don't know that answer because a lot of time goes into it as well. Let's see. I'm going to go back to the chat before we go into it. Dan is starting vacation, starting it off with a dental cleaning. Don't envy that. I hate the dentist, even for cleanings. The last cleaning, I wanted to take advantage of my dental insurance when I was working for the company I was with. So I did all my like checkups because I was going from having an amazing benefits plan to now I'm paying out of pocket for my insurance being self-employed. So I took advantage of all the health insurance, medical or dental insurance, got my cleaning. It was like, I felt like I was in there forever because it was more than just a cleaning. They did the x-rays, they did like all kinds of stuff. And I hate sitting in that chair. Let's see. Jenny and Zach talking about TCDB. Herman says, no internet at home, but back at work after the blizzard. Hopefully all is well down there. You're feeling better, and you didn't fall on your fanny out in the snow in Georgia. What's up, George? Just won an eBay 1 of 1 in an auction here for $3. First thing with eBay, Jenny says, do you want to pay taxes on $600 plus in a year? If not, then don't go further with it than it is worth on eBay. Andrew, what is up? Good morning. I put a lot of cards in dime boxes at card shows. There's not enough shows in a month. Cards sell for a profit of 10 cents to me on eBay. Sweet. Exactly. And that's kind of where I was at with my bargain boxes compared to my eBay sales. My profit margin's about the same if I put them in a quarter box or if I sell them on eBay for $1.50. And sometimes when I'm going through, I kind of purged my 2020, where are we at? I don't even know what year it is. My 2021 inventory. I basically went through all my quarter boxes, pulled out cards that I think can move on eBay. Holy cow. Some of these cards were sitting in my quarter boxes for 12, 13, 14 card shows, not selling, and they would sell within an hour or two on eBay for $1.50, and my profit margin is the same. And actually, I think at $1.50, I'm slightly above that 25. I think I'm at like 40 cents, 50 cents on profit margin. So double my money. Good morning to Rich. What is up? I make a frigging list and I make sure there are at least 2 to 3 items on the list, and I'm not impulsive. Only place I'm impulsive is a baseball card show. Calories Don't Count was a best-selling book circa 1962. Okay. I know I had heard that saying in some form or fashion. Jenny says, 2018, I walk into a store for milk. While that milk was $100. Oh, look at all these blasters that fell into my cart. Exactly. My old Target runs. Let's see. So yeah. So everything sells on eBay. And perfect example of going back to my bargain boxes, my 25-cent boxes. I'm pulling cards out, and they're just moving fast, but they're basically priced to move. So, can anything sell on eBay? Absolutely, if it's priced right. Now, the big issue here, the number one hurdle you will face if you want to sell $1.50 cards on eBay, do you have the time? Dan asks, are you an LLC? Yes, I am. 1 Million Cubs LLC. Do you have the time? Because that's a huge hurdle. Is time. What I noticed, and this was kind of when I crunched the numbers, looking at my benefits and my salary package at my former employer compared to what my numbers were first quarter last year, which we all know was a little inflated in the card industry, compared to my summer months where it really took a dip, where not only did it take a dip, but I wasn't listing very much because I was doing summer things and I didn't have the focus. What I also took into consideration was how much was I moving in the first quarter at the peak, because that tells me what I can handle on my own, listing, shipping, etc. At the peak, I was my 90-day rolling average. You can see that in your eBay app. My 90-day rolling average at peak was 78 sales per day. And I was handling that with a full-time job. Now I was working from home, so I had an extra 5-6 hours per week, actually maybe 7 hours per week, that I could devote because I wasn't commuting back and forth, lunch, and all that stuff. I could, instead of taking a 10-minute break at the water cooler at the office, I would go take the trash out. So a lot of those duties I was able to do throughout the day, and that gave me extra time. At 4:30 when I was off the clock, I could go instantly, walk downstairs and boom, I'm doing cards. Where it might be after 5, 45 minutes later, if I'm working from the office. So even though it's like, well, your office was only 10 minutes away, you have to think big picture. You have to think all of the other encompassing things where, well, $1, and that's why people think, well, it's only $1.50. You're only making 40 cents on a card. Well, think about just, on 78 cards, multiply that. And so it's all about the big picture, and it's all about the volume. So where was I going with that? Now I started to veer off course, and now I forgot where I was going. 78 cards per day. So I knew 78 cards per day, I could handle that with a full-time job. I had, it wasn't exactly, I had a little bit extra time because I was working from the office. Once I got back to the office, I knew I could not handle 78 items per day. Plus it was getting to the warmer months and I was doing other things. So what if I have that extra 45 hours, 46, 47 hours per week, can I handle? So I knew that I could handle 78 with, 40 hours, a base 40 hours. So what can I do with that 40 hours? And I know that, I could do at least 78 per day. And full disclosure, I'm not even at that 78 point. I was doing 78 per day and this shows you how big the peak was in the hobby. Now, my listings are pretty much the same. Like, most of you are probably familiar with my eBay store. Nothing really has changed with what I listed in January, February, March of 2021 to what I'm listing now, December 2021 to January 2022. In March, where I was at my peak, my average listings, my average active listings for the month of March was around 3,000, maybe peak 3,500, 78 sales per day. Fast forward, today, I'm at about 72 sales per day, 10,000 active listings. So that shows you with more than 3 times the inventory, I'm selling less than what I did at peak. That's an eye-opening statistic to really show you how big the peak was in the hobby last year, early last year. So I take that into consideration, where I knew when I was running the numbers, I knew I wasn't going to, it was probably going to be 60% of where we were at in first quarter. But I knew I could outpace what I was doing in the summer months because I just wasn't listing inventory. So took that into consideration. So if you have the time, you can totally devote to it. Now, if you have kids, it might be difficult. If you're active outside the hobby, I'm not active outside the hobby. So when you see my numbers, it's completely different to every person. I'm married with no children, so I have no kids. I have a dog that's super easy. The dog just hangs out on the couch all day. What I don't have like other hobbies. That scared the crap out of me. I don't know what the heck that was. Oh, it was Siri. So I don't have like, I guess I ride my bike now in the warm months. But it's not like I'm not riding 3 hours a day. It's a couple times a week. I don't golf. I don't play sports. So I just play with baseball cards and watch sports on TV, in which I can multitask and do card stuff while I'm watching on TV. I guess I garden. I enjoy keeping the yard up. But I can only do that 6 months a year here in, as Jenny says, the frozen tundra. So I have those things. Now, if you have 3 kids, 2 kids, even 1 kid, if you golf, if you have all these activities, if you're, travel a lot, if you have a day job, then, it's going to be difficult to reach, hundreds of sales per day. So all of that goes into it. Let's see. Dan says, if you were able to, can you offer health insurance benefits to an employee under an LLC? Yes, you can. It's not something that I have looked into because I'm, nowhere near hiring anybody. However, my wife, runs a real estate office, and she's kind of looked into it, on occasion for, just to see is it worth it. And right now, with the state of employment throughout the United States, that carrot is probably going to be used more often because it's an unemployed market out there. Like everybody's hiring, and there's not enough people going back to work. So every benefit that a company can offer is definitely needed at this point. Jenny says it's a lot of work. Not gonna lie, it is. I mean, I listed, and I took 2.5 days off. I did my toy. Went to my buddy's house to look at his cards. We did the toy store, and then I came home and just like, I'm just gonna take the night off. And then I did some shipping on Saturday morning before I left for the card show and Club 400. And then Sunday, I was tired. That means I drank too much Saturday night. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to write this day off, and we're going to hit it hard on Monday. And so yesterday, I shipped all frickin' day. I took a break to go to the bathroom, eat lunch, and that was about it. And, I still have, over 100 items to ship. So yeah, it's a lot of work, but I enjoy it because I can be sitting here shipping all freaking day, listening to Jeremy Lee's podcast from Saturday night, videos from Diego and Ken, and what else did I Bench Clear Media. I can listen to all these podcasts and throw a wrestling. I had a Pearl Jam documentary on for a little bit of yesterday just to mix it up. instead of being at the office and listening to 17 other people talk on the phone and probably music that I don't want to hear, um, and just be stuck in an office doing a job that I don't like, heck yeah, I'll ship cards all day. Heck yeah. It is a lot of work, but I always try when I get down, when I get down and I'm like, God, I can't believe I'm spending all this time shipping cards. What else would I be doing? I don't have any hobbies. What else would I be doing? I'd be looking at baseball cards. I literally would be doing the same thing, but now this is my, this is how I earn my money. Um, let's see. Diego says, did someone say big pitcher? Is it full of beer? Oh shoot, where was I at? What's up, Diego? They will probably arrive in 1 or 2 days. They started the shipping today. Sales super slow when under 1,000 listings. Soon as I hit 2K active, sales exploded. And that's another thing. So that's another tip. And I've kind of been talking all over the place, which is par for the course for me. It also takes volume. So here is my biggest piece of advice when just looking at the numbers, laying out the numbers. Keep track of when you go into the eBay app. So I'm going to step you through it. This is how I track and how, this is kind of what gave me the motivation and this, and we talked about this, I think with Jenny, I talked about, the motivation is I keep track of all this and I extrapolate, okay, this is my goal. And if I do this amount times this amount, this is the money I can make. And that keeps me motivated. So you'll see your 90-day total. It'll say how much money in the last 90 days. It'll show your active listings. It'll show your sold in the last 90 days. So I take my sold number, I divide that by 90, and that'll give you how many items per day. So I'm at roughly 72, and then I'm like right at 10,000 listings. Divide that number by 10,000, and that'll show the percent of your inventory that's turned over on a daily basis. So at the peak, I was turning over like 2.5% of my inventory on a daily basis. Through the summer months, without listing very much, and I actually wrote it down, I was around 1.5%, 1.2 to 1.5%. Now, depending on how much I list in a week, I haven't done a big file exchange upload since like Wednesday, I think. So I've gone from like 10,400 listings down to right at 10,000. So I'm at 0.71% of my daily inventory. So say you're doing, and be conservative. Say, okay, 0.5%. I'm going to turn over 0.5% of my inventory on a daily basis. Well, say you have 1,000 active listings. 0.05 times 1,000. Did I do that right? No, I did not do that right. 0.005 divided by 1,000. Oh, no, did that wrong too. My math skills are off this morning. Times, I hit divide earlier. Times 1,000. You're only selling 5 items per day. So if you have 1,000 items in your eBay store, you're moving 5 to 7 items, maybe 8 items on a daily basis. Now, if you hit 2,000, that's 20,000. Now you're at 10 items per day. And you just extrapolate that out. I'm using 0.5% just to be conservative, but say it's 1%. 1% on 2,000. You're up to 20 per day. And the more you list, the more you will sell. So that's how I kind of project and budget what I'm going to sell, how much I'm going to sell, and all that. Plus, a lot of times, and it's not just, I'll move a ton of my stuff. Say I list 500 items today. I typically I might sell 20 cards right off the bat. As soon as they hit my eBay store within a half an hour, I'll sell 20 of those cards. And then maybe in the next 24 hours, another 20 cards. And then the rest sit for like 29 days. And then when they get under 24 hours left, and they automatically renew. But when they get under that clock, because they're still on a clock, even though they're auto renew, then I'll start moving a lot of items again in that 24-hour period for those cards that are coming up on the 30-day. Jenny says, no kids and live in the frozen tundra. There's literally nothing to do in these months. That is the truth. And even if there is, you don't want to because it's so freaking cold. Let's see. You took your weekend basically, and work was piled up for you Monday morning. Exactly. That's exactly what it was. You know, it's probably the first like real true weekend I've taken since I've done this venture, which was also by design. I don't want to take weekends off, you know, when I'm starting a business and trying to scale up. That's just silly. So yeah, it was, but it was nice. Like I don't want to work 7 days a week, 16 hours a day straight through day after day after day, because then I'll get burned out and then, then bad things happen. But I also don't want to take every weekend off to where Monday and Tuesday is just, trying to dig myself out of a huge hole. Dan says, did you listen to the Mike and Ty show about the recent drama? I watched one of their videos, but I don't know if it was about the Dallas card show stuff. I can't remember if they talked about that or not. I watched so much content yesterday that I'm not sure if that I did watch a Mike and Ty video, but I did not. The video with Mike and Ty I watched was from last Monday leading into the Dallas card show. So I'll have to go back and watch that today. Usually Tuesdays, I don't have much content to watch because I typically get it all finished up on Monday. Jenny says, ignore eBay's recommended item specifics, hassling you every day about it. That is so true. That is so true. Somebody, when I tweeted my photo out yesterday, they said, is that like 1,700 item specifics that need to be updated? It's just recommended. They're not required. If they're required, update those. But if they're recommended, just frickin' ignore them. It does help out eBay's. It does help out the search, but I'm not going to waste my time going through and updating 2,000 listings that are listed for $1.50. Like, people will find them. And if not, okay. If it's like $100 card or a $50 card, yes, I'm going to fill out all the specifics. But if it's $1.50, there's no sense in wasting that time. Time is money. Do you follow your quality reports? Yes, I do. I look at my sales stats more than I look at those rankings. And part of the reason is because when I used to do the stamped envelopes, my tracking uploaded in time and validated, that was like super low. Like, it used to be like 20% because most of my sales were PWE and I used the stamped envelope. Now it's at 47%, which it's like, wow, that's really good for me. So yeah, I do check those out on a not regular basis, but fairly regularly, just to, just kind of see a snapshot of what's been going on. Like my transaction defect rate, which I made a boo-boo. I made a mistake over the weekend listing. It was actually Saturday morning while I was making my coffee. And mistakes happen. And I was dreading sending these messages to my buyers because I made a big mistake. Not a big mistake. It was an honest mistake. What I was doing, I was listing 2021 Bowman Draft. Now, most of what I was listing were actually everything I was listing, except for one card, were refractors. The Ray Wave refractors and the standard, just regular chrome refractors from Bowman Draft. I listed a Marcelo Meyer, and I had two of them. First Bowman chromes, just regular chromes. I was in that like robotic mode where I was just so used to typing in refractor. They were the base chromes. And I listed them at base chrome prices, $20. And all of a sudden I get some notifications. Actually, I think I had stopped for gas on the way down to the card show and noticed, I'm like, hey, they sold. And then like because I got the alert, sold. And it's like chrome refractor. And I'm like, I didn't list any chrome refractors of Marcelo Meyer. So I had to, and I at the gas station, two different buyers. And I said, I'm sorry, this was a mistake. I don't have the chrome refractor. I have two base chromes. I can send you the base chrome, which is, what this is priced to be, or I can just issue a refund. Fortunately, both were very nice about it and just said, just send me a refund. I already have the base chrome, so that worked out. But I was dreading it because some people, well, you need to honor it. It said refractor, and it's like, it's a photo of the base chrome. It was an honest mistake. I wasn't, in situations like that, we tend to like think everybody's out to get us in certain situations when it comes to buying cards and trying to get one over on somebody. And it's like, why would I try to get one over on you? It's going to cause me more hassle than, and it's like, it's not priced at a refractor price. Now, if it was priced at like $80 and it was, that's shady, but it was priced under comps for the base chrome, which they were selling for about $25, and mine was priced at 20. So anyway, I made that mistake. So that actually, when I canceled it, I had to say item out of stock or damage, just because that, it was my fault. So that affects my transaction defect rate, which sucks, but hey, you got to own your mistakes sometimes. Or actually you got to own your mistakes all the time. Let's see, back to the chat. Do you follow your quality reports? They either sell right away or they sit for a month. Absolutely. Who are Mike and Ty? Was it answered in the chat? I don't think so. Mike and Ty are Bench Clear Media. So Mike is Mike Moynihan. He's a baseball card collector. I can't remember. He's got an awesome vintage collection. He lives down in the Dallas area. He's been on Hobby Hotline a few times. They have very interesting content on YouTube. Bench Clear Media is the channel. And they do a show together, and then they each do shows on their own. I can't remember Ty's last name, but they do a show called On the Fly with Mike and Ty, where it's those two. Mike does a vintage show. Ty does a lot of like collections. He just bought like a 1.5 million card collection, not dollar, 1.5 million card collection, and kind of like went through the whole thing, and he took video of like driving there and going through the cards, what he found. And it was a lot. It was Zach, you would enjoy that series because he found like a lot of like starting lineups. Like there was a lot of like best wax in that find. So good stuff on their channel. So I do my day of no eBay based on weather. There's no weekend. Like today, it's going to be 35. I'm outside. Tomorrow, -20. Back to eBay. That's a great way to do it. That's a great way to balance. And I balance in, like, if I'm working, I try to balance it out where I'm doing shipping for an hour or two and then go up and list. Now, when I have 250 items to ship, then it's just nose to the grindstone, and I'm packaging and shipping all day. But if I'm down to like 50 to 75, that's very manageable. So I'll do 20 packages. I'll go upstairs, list some stuff, upload, come back down, do some more, and just kind of balance it out that way, because I have like, hey, look, squirrel. And so sometimes I have to balance it out and do different things. SCA Sports Cards, good morning. Thanks for jumping in the chat. Do you use Quicken or GoDaddy for bookkeeping? I need to track better. I do need to track better. I think I used Quicken last year because it linked up to your accounts. Let me just verify what exactly that was. QuickBooks. I used QuickBooks last year. Right now I'm using I created a spreadsheet just based on I have an expenses, And so all of my like profits are basically through eBay, and then I do a card show spreadsheet. So all the money from buying and selling at card shows are on one sheet. My eBay is just printed out straight from eBay because they have all the reports. Another reason why the eBay fees are a good bargain because they provide you a lot of good stuff, um, report wise. And then I do my expenses and I track that on a monthly basis, which I have to. And my wife has been a godsend because she's been doing this for a while in real estate, where she has to track all this and then hand it over to the accountant. So my listings all say scans or of actual card you are getting. That I've actually, Jenny, I've ran into that recently where I've had people, and I think it's because of the scanner I use, because it does kind of look like a stock photo. I've had people, is this the real card or is it a stock photo? And I've had that come up more often as I'm using the scanner. Hobby hotline tonight, gonna have to look up who was on. We just got the, let's see, it's John Newman, who is Sports Card Nation, Chris Harris, Stale Gum, and Ryan Nolan, Breakout Cards. So George is probably asleep by now, but Ryan broke down like all of the stuff that happened. There was some crazy stuff. I don't want to get into it on this show, but tune in to Hobby Hotline tonight because Ryan Nolan has all of the updates and what's going down, what happened at the Dallas Card Show over the weekend. And he kind of had the story from what happened in Florida previously. So he's going to provide and actually he has a video up. Breakout Cards is his YouTube channel. He has a video out he posted last night on the situation. So he'll dive into that tonight. So if I know George has been interested in hearing about the Dallas Card Show stuff, so I watched what he put out, so it all satisfied my curiosity. Okay, so George is up to date on it. So yeah, so check, that's 8 p.m. Central tonight for Hobby Hotline. Let's see. Back to the chat. Zach says, thanks. I believe I recognize the mic guys. I pulled their videos up. Yep. Yeah, you got 200 plus to ship. No weather getting you outside. Absolutely. Even a warm, sunny day wouldn't have gotten me outside yesterday. Squirrel Aware. I'm out. Thanks, Zach, for tuning in. Appreciate it. Rich Klein says, Ryan Nolan. How do you price your cards as inventory? That's a very good question. And that's something my accountant and I are still going over. Basically, what I'm doing is anything that I've bought that was pre-existing to my business going into effect on October 1st, anything I can find receipts for, that would go into as existing inventory. And it's kind of a guess, because I've obviously spent more than what I have receipts for, and it's like, is it fair market value? So and then so the issue is I have 2 million cards. Well, just say you blanket it 5 cents per card, and you can show here's the Beckett price guide, and that's actually an underestimate. But then the IRS is going to be like, well, show us receipts. And so anything I have a receipt for is going into that. I track my expenses. So this is where I always just say, call a tax person, a CPA, when it comes to tracking the expenses, because I don't know. I just track everything I spend that's business related, and I give that to my accountant, and then he takes care of it. So that's how I handle it. I track everything, and then if he has questions, he can say, okay, well, this doesn't count, or we have to do a percentage of this, and then I say, okay, do your thing. So that's pretty much anything I spend business related is tracked and sent to him, and then he gives it the yay or nay. Ryan was at the Dallas Card Show. I missed him. Small problem because someone bought me out during the show. Yeah, I saw that in the chat. Rich got bought out again. What was it? Was that the third time? So starting over for the third time. I watched what he put out, so it all satisfied my curiosity. I'm still awake since I'm on vacation. Now we just need Leaf. Yeah, and so Leaf is being sued by Giannis. Um, and I don't the article and I in one of the group chats I was in, I said the article that I read on Sports Collectors Daily was clear as mud. I'd like to see Paul Lesko comment on that if it's gone to whatever because he can see those filings. I'd like to just see some of the language in there because it from what I read in the article, it's like he said she said. We're not privy. We don't know what the contract looks like because basically it sounds like Leaf had him under a 1-year contract. They paid him X amount, like $8 per autograph for 1,000 autographs, and it was a 1-year deal. But then Leaf put out, I think some of the autographs were in a set released in 2020, maybe. So it's like, well, did they have to release them within that 1 year of the contract? They used the Greek Freak collection, I think, on the cards in 2020. So was that? So I'm sure there's a lot of legal language in that contract that we're not privy to. I'd like to see the filing and get Paul Lesko's comments on that. So I'll probably be searching him on Twitter today just to see. Let's see. Rich says I miss all the good stuff at the Dallas Card Show. All they did was put in some off the rack relics. Oh, by the way, speaking of relics, I saw in person one of those Jersey Fusion cards at the card show on Saturday. That's the ugliest, most stupid card I've ever seen. It literally looked like you cut a piece of jersey. Like I went up into my closet, took a jersey and cut a little small piece and just literally taped it on the front of a card. And then put it in a one touch with a sticker that says Jersey Fusion on it. It's dumber in person. It like the idea sounds stupid. Just speaking it out sounds dumb. And then seeing pictures of it looks dumb. And then seeing it in person is an all new level of dumb. Jersey Fusion, terrible. So if you're unaware, I know there was some stuff, some pictures floating around Twitter recently, and I'm like, well, that looks stupid. And then I saw one in person. I'm like, oh my God, that looks worse than stupid. That looks worse than I thought. So and say we didn't know they should be player used. Everyone is going to be so different for taxes, no set amount. Pretty sure that was SCC's first year. Are you married? Do you have kids? What is your yearly income, etc.? There's not going to be a flat tax rate. Oh yeah, I forgot what company. Don't know what the other company ever did other than print the first run. That's still being printed. So I'm going on 49 minutes. So I know I was kind of off on several different tangents. So those are my tips. So, hey, tomorrow, 2 editions. Actually, 1 edition of Hobby Evolution at the normal time. And then tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central, I'll be talking live with Don Caruso. He's the head of sales operations at Fujitsu. We're going to be talking scanners. He's a collector himself, so we're going to talk about his collection. I know he's into TTM, so we're going to talk. We're going to talk cards. We're going to talk autographs. We're going to talk Fujitsu scanners. They've been a game changer for my operation. So I'm excited just to get the backstory on how they were introduced into the hobby because I learned about them from Chronozio, Kronozio, and that's kind of how it all started with Fujitsu getting into the hobby. So I'm looking forward to that. Did he reach out to you? Yeah, he found one of my early videos before I even bought the scanner. I was showing off the different scanners that I found on the Chronozio website. thought, hey, these are cool. Frank Lubatti watched the video, bought a scanner, tweeted me a video of him in action using the scanner. And then my first day in operation, I'm like, I need this scanner. And I bought one like an hour into my first day and never looked back. So that's yeah. So then so Don found my video, reached out. We've actually been chatting back and forth for a few weeks now, and he's like, yeah, I'd love to do an interview. I'm like, let's do it. Let's talk about this. Would love to do it. So we're gonna do that tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. So looking forward to that. So nostalgia breaks. I mentioned this over the weekend on Saturday's show, I think, that I wasn't going to go on eBay and just buy a bunch of packs, but I might actually do that. I think Friday afternoon when I bought those 6 packs, it kind of fueled. So I was actually shopping last night on eBay. I didn't buy anything yet, but I found some good deals on non-sports packs. So I'm going to play around with some video editing software because I want to get on another level for some of my videos. So I'm going to have to take that extra step, and I've never been very good. Now, audio, I know my way around Cool Edit Pro and Adobe Audition and those types of audio editing software, but I've never really messed around with video. So I'm gonna look out for that because I want to do something unique. I don't want to just go on and do, hey, here's a pack of Ghostbusters cards. Let's open it. Oh, cool. End the video. I want to add a little spice to the nostalgia breaks, make them worth watching. So that's the plan, and I hope to. It's January 18th. I hope to February 1st. What day does that fall on? I hope to start February 1st. It's a Tuesday, so maybe even January 31st. We'll start fresh on a Monday. So we'll see. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Long show. Apologize for that. Have a great Tuesday, and we'll chat tomorrow.